Radhe Radhe. Yes. We'll start Swamiji's discourse now. Please remember to refresh your browser.
Are you all eager to listen to the nectar of Bhagavat Mahapuran?
Yes!
Let's all express it with a loud Jaykara. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki. Sri Krishna had to settle another Mukaddama, another case that developed a few months later. There was a tradition in Braj. The Brajvasis, being of an agrarian society, they used to be dependent upon rain. And they used to worship Indra, the god of rain. These celestial gods, they have their portfolios. Like now in USA, you've got a Secretary of Finance, Secretary of Industries. In India, you've got the Industries Minister, the Finance Minister. So God has got Agni, who takes care of fire, Vayu, who takes care of the wind, and Indra, who takes care of the rain. So they used to worship Indra. Even today, if you go to Kathmandu, they worship one day in the year, they worship Indra. Now, Krishna found that people are making preparations for the puja of Indra. he asked Nanda and Yashoda, what is the matter? Nanda said, Beta, we worship Indra once in a year because he gives rain. Krishna thought this is not right. Because in future, I am going to, before the Mahabharata, speak the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And in that Bhagavad Gita, I'll give the principle of bhakti. Ananya shintayanto mam ananya cheta satatam. You should only worship God. But people will misunderstand. They'll say, no, I will worship this, I will worship that. So Krishna said, in my avatar kal, if people are going to start worshipping Indra, then in future people will question, what Gita Gyan did you give of Ananya Bhakti? Only worship God. When your Brajvasis are worshipping Indra. And Krishna thought, I need to resolve this problem. So first of all, he got the little children on his side. You see, when you have to bring about a social revolution, you need some support. So he said, look, we go to Govardhan, we play there, our cows, they feed on the grass, etc., growing there. So our Aradhya is Govardhan, it is a form of Vishnu himself. Actually, Vishnu had descended in the form of Govardhan to enhance the bliss of Krishna's pastimes. So it is said that Vishnu is Govardhan himself. So Krishna, once he got the Sakhas on his side, then he called a general assembly of the Brajvasis. And there he explained to them that, look, this is not good, we don't need to worship any Indra of Indra. So these devatas, Indra and all, whatever they give is by the power of God. You don't need to go to an intermediary, you go to the supreme power himself, to the Supreme Court. So Sri Krishna explained to the Brajvasis that this is not good, we will worship Vishnu Swarup Govardhan. Everybody, Sri Krishna of course is expert in convincing. They all agreed. And the day was decided with all the puja samagri. And he told that we will offer bhog. So the Brajvasis, to their heart's content, they brought varieties of items. And they reached Giri Govardhan. So there, they placed all the bhog, and to Vishnu Swarup, Krishna Swarup, Govardhan, the bhog was offered. Indra, he became annoyed. He said, who is this boy in Braj who has stopped my puja? He commissioned the biggest cloud in his armory, which was a cloud called Samvartak. And he said, go and inundate the whole of Braj. So Samvartak came there, and Pralayakari Varsha started. The kind of rain you would expect at the end of the universe. Sometimes, last year at the time of Hurricane Harvey, there was 50 inches of rain in 48 hours. That was some kind of a record. So imagine when Samvartak starts pouring down, it seems like the sky has burst. That kind of rain. Now the Brajbasi said, Krishna, what do we do? Krishna said, don't you worry. He took the Govardhan and he lifted it on the little finger of his left hand. Some people ask that why did he lift it on the little finger of his left hand? This is the weakest portion of the body. It is practically good for nothing. You can't do anything with this little finger. So Krishna is showing his disdain that I can lift this hill on this little finger of his left hand. He is showing his Aishwarya Shakti. Now we people see that Aishwarya Shakti, we become impressed. And we do Kirtan, Mero Giridhari, Govardhan Dhari, Giri Govardhan Dhari, Bhagavan ki. But The Sakhas, they did nothing of the sort. As far as the Sakhas was concerned, he's our friend. What Govardhan can he lift? In other words, they don't keep the Aishwarya of their friend in mind. They only keep that sentiment, he's our friend. And they applied their sticks. They are thinking we are the actual Giridhari, not him. So in that situation where Bhagavan is displaying his almightiness, the Sakhas are still not impressed. Their Sakhya Bhav is so strong that they only think he's our Langotia Yar. So Dhansukh, he said to Mansukh, "Are look, Sridhava, Mansukh, Madhumangal, such a serious matter. We have applied with our lakuti all our strength to keep the hill up, and this Kanhaiya, he's only applying the little finger. He is not even showing to the people that he is trying hard." You see, like when the Rath Yatra takes place, a huge wheel has to be lifted. Or in the villages, when that roof of the hut has to be lifted, 30 people gather together to lift it. In that 30, there are one or two lazy people. They say, who will know in the crowd? Just put your hand and say, ho ha, ho ha. So if Krishna had applied his whole hand, you would say he's trying to show the world. Here he's only applying his little finger. In other words, the Sakha, so Mansukh says, let this matter get over. We'll see to him. They are now making plans to beat him up. So Kripaluji Maharaj says, Nakh dharyo Govardhan giri jab Sakhan kahyo ham giridhari dekho dekho ri gwal balan yari dekho dekho ri. This is the Braj Ras, the bliss of divine love which the Lord showers on those devotees whom he has bestowed this seat that they can see him, God, as their friend around whom they put their arms. So the whole day went by and the night also went by. And the next day, again the Sakhas, Krishna is still like this. Now the Sakhas realized that my, he is lifting, not us. So one Sakha said, Kanhaiya, you must be tired. Do one thing now. You transfer the hill to us, we will lift it and somebody will press your hands. Even if you keep your hand up like this for 7 days, how exhausting it will become. So we will press your hands, you just give the hill to us. Shri Krishna said, keep sitting. How to explain to them, how will I transfer the hill to you? The whole Braj will get squashed. So all this was going on. Radharani came close. Seeing Radharani, Shri Krishna got this Ashta Sattvic Bhav, Stambh, Swed, Romanch, in divine love. When the mind goes into Samadhi, the body starts trembling. So Shri Krishna started trembling and the hill started shaking. And Balaram realized this is a critical situation. He came between Radha and Krishna. This is no place for love. Be serious on the work you are doing. All the Brajbasis were under the hill. And they celebrated by dancing. They were saved from that storm. Shri Krishna lifted the Govardhan for 7 days and 7 nights. After 7 days, Indra realized his folly. So he came on the white elephant, the Airavat, and he got off. He pulled the cloud off. So Krishna put the hill down by his Sudarshan disk. He dried all the water. Indra came and fell in front of him and begged forgiveness. Maharaj, I didn't realize who you were. I thought you to be a little boy. Who can understand your divine pastimes? Valmiki ji Maharaj says, Soi janai, jehi dehu janai, janat tumhi, tumhi ve jai. That person can understand God, on whom God bestows His divine intellect by His grace. And one who receives the grace becomes God-like. If somebody touches the wire of 110 volts, you have 110 in your body. So those who attain God become God-like. Indra said, Maharaj, I took you to be a little boy. It was my biggest folly. I forgot that my intellect is tiny and God is so big. Whenever we question the Leelas of God, why did God do this, why did God do that, we are forgetting the size of our intellect is so small and God is so infinite. If we can understand one thing about Him, it is a blessing. Otherwise, we should not be able to understand anything. But when we surrender, by surrendering, we receive the grace. So Indra, without surrendering, he offended the Lord. And now he got humbleness. That humbleness is the stepping stone to devotion. He fell at the feet of Krishna. Krishna forgave him. However, something else happened. Those Brajabasis who used to think Krishna is just one of us, they saw the king of heaven coming and offering pranam. Most of the Brajabasis were village people. They were all village people, but most of them were illiterate, farmers. A couple of them were scholarly and they recognized, this eyes, this is Devaraj. So they spread the news that the king of the celestial abodes came and offered pranam to Kanhaiya. So that means Kanhaiya is God. He is not like we thought. We used to casually say, Kanua, hey Kanua. And he is actually God. So slowly the devotion, that news started spreading. You know what? Krishna is God. And that news reached Krishna's little friends. You know what? My mummy and papa were talking that Krishna is God. You know what? Have you heard he's God? Those friends of his who used to play arm in arm, they started looking at him fearfully. He is God. Krishna saw that change in bhav and he started crying. The Sakhas said, what happened? Why are you crying? Did you sprain your arm? If you keep your arm like this, it will get sprained in 7 days. No. People are looking at me in a bad way. They are thinking I am God. That earlier mamata, mamatva, he is mine. Whether he is my friend or my beloved or my child, that is the Braj-ras. He is mine. And the moment the Aishwarya comes, then you go back, Shantakaram Bhujakshayanam Padmanabham Shuresham. That is not the Braj-ras, that is the Aishwarya-ras. So Krishna says, that bliss has finished. They are thinking I am God. The Sakhas, they had a meeting. They said, what kind of God is he? We defeat him in play. Our parents don't know anything. He is just our Langotia yar. Again, by Yoga Maya, Krishna made them forget. Now the Gopis, they used to love Krishna as their sole beloved. The love of the Gopis, we can go on and on, but we have to finish the katha. Just suffice to say, one gopi, she says, Pran bhay kanhamay, kan bhay pranamay. Hiye tena jani pare pran hai ki kan hai. She says, when I look at my pran, my life airs, I think it's Krishna. And then I look at Krishna, I think it is my life air. Now I am confused which is pran and which is kan. They have become so much united. In other words, these gopis have become one. Their consciousness has become Krishnamay. Hence, these gopis see Krishna everywhere. So, Krishna had promised at the time of the Chirharan that I will bestow the Maharasa Ras upon you. Rasanam samuho iti rasaha. The highest bliss, the collection of those highest blisses, that is the Maharas. So the most attractive full moon night of the year, the Sharad Purnima Ratri, which comes at the end of September or early October, that Ratri, when the rains have just stopped, it's neither hot nor cold. So Sri Krishna chose that kind of a night. At night, on the banks of the Yamuna, there was this Kadamba Vriksh, his favorite. He stood below it in his threefold bending form, his Tribhangi Lal Chhavi. He placed the flute on his lips and started blowing on it in the Pancham Swar, the fifth scale. The sound, the flute is one instrument where you can put your emotions into it. And that is what Krishna did. All his love. And the sound of the flute was spreading all over Braj. However, there was the divine Yogamaya power in it. Those who were adhikaris, qualified, eligible, they heard it. The others kept sleeping. So the gopis who had practiced sadhana for so many lifetimes, the moment they heard Krishna is filling his love in it, they became vyakul. They were unable to control themselves. He is calling us. He wants us. We have to go. Krishna is the treasure of their life. They sacrifice their all upon him. And when he is calling them, nothing else is important. Their minds automatically reached Krishna. So when their minds were not with them, they reached the state of samadhi. This samadhi was of different levels. There is Jagrat Samadhi, Swapna Samadhi, Sushupti Samadhi, Turiya Samadhi, and then further Jagrat mein Turiya, Turiya mein Swapna, Swapna mein Sushupti, etc. Different kinds of samadhis. Some of the gopis in samadhi, they said, all right, let me dress up, put my lipstick, etc., and then go. Another gopi is in such a state of samadhi, she is putting the clothes all upside down and going. A third gopi has no consciousness. What are the clothes? She is just running. They all ran to Sri Krishna. In the mid of the night, these gopis are running into the forest. And Krishna, Shyam Sundar, has called them all. This is the Ras Panchadhyay. So the Bhagavat is called the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. The Dasham Skand is its heart, the 10th canto. And the Panchadhyay is the Panch Prana. And in that, the Gopi Geet, which we will come to, is the Mukut Mani. So Krishna, the first verse of the Ras Panchadhyay, 10th canto, 29th chapter, first verse. Bhagavan apita ratri sharadot fulla mallika viksharantum manaschakre yogamaya mupashritaha. Bhagavan apita ratri, he in Sharat Kal, he caused Basant Kaleen, springtime flowers to blossom. And now he has promised he will do the Maharas. But God doesn't have any mind, he doesn't have any desires. He's Atma Ram, rejoicing in this self. How will he do the Maharas? So, Viksharantum Manaschakre Yogamaya Mupashrita. He took shelter of Yogamaya, the divine energy which is Radha. So with the help of his divine energy, he created a mind. If he is Atma Ram, nobody can serve him. He neither feels hungry nor feels thirsty. He will not know the difference between a Rasgulla and a Gobar Ka Gulla. But then how will the devotee serve with love? So to provide devotees with the opportunity to serve, the Sarvagya, Sarva Samarth becomes Asamarth. The all-powerful, he hides all his powers. He says, I want, I need. And then the devotee says, okay, let me get the best dress for you, the best garland for you, the best shringar. So, with the help of Yogamaya, the first verse itself, he created his mind. Now somebody said to me, Swamiji, are these Leelas true or not? If that is the doubt, then Bhagavat is not for you. Bhagavat is a very sophisticated granth. Somebody says, Sri Krishna did Maharas with women? Chi, 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 chi. That same Sri Krishna who did Maharas, he also spoke the Bhagavad Gita. First of all, understand through the Bhagavad Gita that you are not the body, you are the soul. The world is not your goal, you have to give up desires, you have to become Sthita Pragya. Where the Gita ends, that is where the Bhagavatam begins. And in the Bhagavatam, Ved Vyas has taken us through a huge journey of knowledge. And then he has cultivated our Krishna Bhakti. And now he has brought us to this Maharas. So here Sri Krishna is at the Yamuna Tat. And the Gopis are coming running. Krishna saw they have all come. So he says, Swagatam vo Mahabhaga Priyam Kim Karavarniva. Oh, you have come. Welcome, welcome. How can I serve you? The Gopis thought, what is the matter? He's called us. Now why is he playing with words? So he says, Sri Krishna says, oh, I see why you have come. These beautiful flowers are blossoming and it's a full moon night. You have come to enjoy the scenery. But now you need to go back. The Gopis think, he has called us and he is saying you need to go back. They are standing there, with their feet they are scraping the ground. Their minds, their hearts are full of an ocean of love. Krishna says, look, it is dangerous. There are all kinds of demons roaming around. The Gopis are still standing there. So Sri Krishna gave them a lecture on Dharma. Dushilo durbhago vridhyo jado rogya dhano piva patistri bhirnaha tavyo lokepsu bhirapataki. This is not right behavior. What is your Dharma? You should serve your sas and sasur, your father-in-law and mother-in-law. You need to take care of your children. You need to take care of your husbands. What are you doing in this forest? Krishna is testing them. You see, one who teaches will also test. to see that have you learned or not. So Krishna is testing them, but the gopis have learned well. So they say, Yat patya patya surida manuvrittiranga strinam swadharma iti dharma vidatvayoktam astveva me tadupadesha pade tvaishe preshtho bhavan stanubhritan kila bandhuratma. E dharmatma. They are taunting Krishna. Dharmatma, you have learnt a lot of dharma. You are giving us lecture of dharma. We have a question for you.
Well, no words to say. Such beautiful Lila Swamiji described. Two Leelas today, Govardhan Lila and the beautiful Lila where Krishna calls all the gopis. So sweet. While we want to celebrate Govardhan Lila, we'd like to show a small 1-minute video of the celebration at Radha Krishna Temple, Govardhan Puja. Let's enjoy that. And at this time, maybe you could also offer whatever bhoga you would Now we'd like to invite Manjri ji and Kaustubh ji to join us for the interactive discussion today.
Radhe Radhe. Kaustubh and Niharika.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, Manjri ji, we cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. This is Manjari. This is Laksh. Radhe Radhe, everyone.
Radhe Radhe.
Can you
Radhe Radhe.
hear us now, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think in the interest of time, we should start with the questions. And meanwhile, while the questions come up, we can, just start talking about it. So where is Govardhan Hill? Laksh, can you read out the options?
Mathura, Gokul, Vrindavan, or Dwarka?
Okay. So while you all are thinking about it, so what was the favorite part for you, Laksh, in today's Leela?
My favorite part was when Sri Krishna changed Sakha's mind to believe that he's not actually dead because he's lost in a lot of games that they've played.
Right. That was good, right? Because Bhagwan, he wanted to enjoy the bliss of, the bhakti, where the bhakt, if they remember that he's God, then he cannot have the same relationship like he used to and have fun with them. So that was amazing. How about you all, Niharika and Kaustubh?
Niharika, go ahead.
So I thought it was pretty amazing how Swamiji explained that Shri Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill on his left hand, his pinky finger, because he was showing his Aishwarya Ras to everybody.
Right. And that
Nice.
was one moment, that one particular moment in the whole episode where he actually wanted to display his Aishwarya Shakti, and that was not for his favorite bhakt in Braj. It was for who? It was for someone else that he was trying to break the pride of. Who was that? Whose pride was being broken as part of the Lila when he lifted on the left pinky finger?
Indra's. Lord Indra.
Lord Indra's, yeah. So when he has to break somebody's pride, he has to show the Aishwarya Shakti. But for bhaktas, his bhaktagण, his devotees, he wants to be in loving relationship. So Kaustubh, how about you?
Yeah, we'll get the next question and then I'll go.
I see. Okay, so the answer, we have to also tell the answer for the first one. I think
Yes.
we displayed one answer. Was that correct answer, Niharika?
Yes,
What was
it
the
was
answer?
Vrindavan.
Yep.
It was
Vrindavan.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, Niharika, you want to read the question?
So why did people worship?
Yeah,
Because people are scared of his wrath and he is the Lord of the heavens, or because he is the Lord of rain and clouds.
Is there a fourth option too? Is it not showing?
we just decided 3.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So go
while
ahead. I'll
people think
answer.
about it, it's the interesting thing that I saw in this session that Swamiji explained was about the principle of bhakti. Lord Krishna thought that in the future, of just during Mahabharat, he would talk about Bhagavad Gita and he would preach at that time. He would give the statement that you have to worship only God, right? And he didn't want at that time that people would go and worship Indra Dev, and because you have to worship the Almighty, which is the main God. So that was amazing. So because of that, he said, "Let me teach Lord Indra a lesson, and also because as a part of that, let me also give this teaching to the public that what they have to do in the future, and who do they have to pray." So that was
Okay.
good.
So I think
Yeah.
people are giving mixed answers here. Somebody gave option 3, Lord of Heaven, and somebody is giving option 2. So while you guys think about revealing the correct answer, I'll just quickly share my favorite part. I think there are many, since Swamiji's already started talking about Ras Panchadhyay, it's hard to say anything else in today's episode was more favorite. But since we are talking about Govardhan Lila, I'll still say that, when the Radha Ji's episode and how Balram intervened, I think that was pretty, and the way Swamiji says it was so funny. So I think it was important that Lord Krishna continued with his Aishwarya Shakti and not go into the Mahabhav looking at Radharani. So it was the right, correct intervention on Baldau's part.
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead. What's the correct answer for this?
Right. So the question there was, why did the people of Vrindavan pray to Lord Indra? So there could be multiple answers. According to the Lila, it's more about because he is, and he was the Lord of rain and clouds, right? So basically, his goal was to when the rains come, the crops are there, and so on. So that was the main one. Now they did not know at that time that he's going to be angry and all those things, right? The angry part came later when the people of Vrindavan prayed to Govardhan Hill, right? And they prayed to the cows and other things, right? That's when they figured that Lord Indra got mad after that. But before that, they didn't know. As far as I understand, that he was going to get mad. It was more about, okay, Lord Indra, give us rain so that we can cultivate our crops. That was the point there.
It was a
So
tricky one. So what is the correct answer then?
yeah, so because he's the Lord, a God of rain and clouds.
But that option wasn't there though. Was it fourth option?
Because you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it.
Oh,
It was the first
I
one.
see.
Yeah.
I see. I couldn't see it on the screen. I see. So
Yeah,
did
so
people
it,
give that answer? I didn't know that. But anyhow, so this question, how long did Sri Krishna lift Govardhan Hill for? 7 hours, 7 days, 7 nights, 7 weeks, 7 months. All right, so this must be hopefully simple for everyone. So I wanted to say that, I'm sure many people have visited Mathura, Vrindavan, Gokul area. I also had a very recent opportunity last year to go there, and very lucky to have visited Govardhan, Giriraj, Govardhan area, and Govardhan Mandir, Giriraj Mandir there, and Govardhan Hill. So just wanted to quickly share some of the devotees, how much the parakashtha, the epitome of the devotion there. People, it's a 12 kilometers parikrama that people have to do. They can either go, walking or whatever way. Some people, older people, go in vehicle, one way or another. People try to finish the parikrama. But I saw devotees where they were doing sashtang parikrama, where they lie down sashtang, get up, and then keep going like that. So it takes probably from early morning till late night to finish that, and it's pretty. You just you pray to Bhagwan there, but then when you look at those devotees, you feel like praying and bowing down, doing namaskar to them. So it was pretty amazing experience for me to look at the devotion of the devotees in Mathura Vrindavan area.
Yeah, so the correct answer is 7 days and 7 nights, option 2.
All right, thank you, Laksh.
Yeah. So all
So I
correct
think
answers.
Swamiji also, I think in the, I don't know if he covered in, I don't think he covered in this katha, but other kathas maybe he has. Let's read this question and then we will discuss that. Who's gonna read? Laksh, you reading?
Why did Sri Krishna lift the hill? He was scared of Lord Indra's wrath. Number 2, to show Lord Indra that he's superior. Number 3, Brajvasis had faith that he could help them.
Were you
Yeah.
saying something? I just want to make sure.
No, I was not. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say that the Chappan Bhog, the Annakut that Mata Yashoda and Brajvasis did after the Govardhan Puja, Govardhan Hill episode. It was basically 8 prahar ka jo the bhojan that Bhagwan used to eat, the bhog. So Mata basically took care of all the missed food times that Lord Krishna could have had if he was not holding the Govardhan Hill for that many days. So they all prepared that many vyanjans or that many dishes to feed him, to make up for all the missed meal times. So I think that's what option 3, Pushpavaliji says.
3. Okay, that's good. Saradaji also saying option 3, which is good. Yes, so basically, when all the torrential rain started, at that time, all Krishna's friends and the people of Vrindavan, they started talking to him and asking him for help. And that time, he picked up the Govardhan Hill on his little finger of the left hand.
Are there any more questions, Kaustubh, or this is it?
I think we are. At 4 questions. I think we are good.
I think this is already done, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is done. So I think we are good.
All right. So anyhow,
Okay.
Poojaji, yeah, we are done with the interactive session from our side. So thank you for the opportunity to interact with everybody who's watching. Radhe Radhe, and I'm sure everybody
Radhe
will look
Radhe.
forward for the Maharas episode, the Ras Panchadhyayi, the Panch Pran, and the Mukut Mani of Mahabhagavat. So thank you and see you all next time. Happy Purushottam Maas to you all. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Manjri ji, Kaustubh ji, Niharika and Laksh. So nice. We had a very nice interactive session. The questions were hopefully very easy. And tomorrow we look forward to the rest of the divine sweet Bhagavat Mahapuran by Swamiji and also the various pujas. Like I had, we had texted, commented, if you'd like to perform the puja live and join the online program with us, join the call to perform the puja, and you can also, we can show your altar online. Please register on the portal, and we'd be happy to send you the video conference link so you can also join us remotely at the temple while Panditji does the pujas. So tomorrow again we will meet at 6 o'clock and continue this beautiful devotional program. Thank you and Radhe Radhe.